Hey, what's going on, guys? So the first half of the spring update is finally here. This update's going to include a bunch of stuff, but the most important one that I think a lot of people are happy about is the ranked matchmaking. Now, Crema did upload this photo. I believe they mirrored it too. Or maybe it wasn't this photo. It could have been a similar one. Anyway, they uploaded a similar one that was blurred on their Twitter page, and I guess that it was probably something to do with the ranked matchmaking, and yeah, it was. So this is going to be kind of like the trainer intro and whatnot. But yeah, there's a ton of patch notes here. So I figured instead of just summarizing everything, we'd go right into the patch notes. The important stuff. I'm not going to talk about every bug fix or anything, but there's a lot to go over here. So once again, this is the first half of the spring update, so there is going to be more coming. If you saw my roadmap video, you'd know that there's a few more things. Anyway, so for new stuff, we have added the ranked matchmaking system. Players are going to get a TMR, which is basically just an ELO. It's the first iteration of ranked battles, so it only has it only has the core features right now. It doesn't have the actual ranks. Like they said, they might do League of Legends style. Well, they didn't specifically say League of Legends, but they said they'll do specific rankings like bronze, gold, silver, and probably name them something else. Every time is auto-scaled. This is important. So if you don't want to sit there and breed, you don't have to. You just have to TV train. All your Temtem will be auto-scaled, and they'll be brought up to the current level cap at level 48. So that's great. Like if you don't feel like breeding those perfect Tems, you can get right into it. For friendly battles, though, you're still gonna have to do the SVs. But if you don't want to deal with that for ranked, you don't have to. Rank battles will give pants on rewards, but they're not gonna until they make sure the system's good. I'm sure they don't want to find any exploits or anything. There's a spectator mode. You can now spectate other players. What else? Oh, new status condition. Okay, so evading. This is basically when you use bamboozle, you'll get the evading status condition instead of just avoiding the next attack. It lasts for, I believe, 2 turns. I have to double check on that. But yeah, so it can be a buff or a nerf depending on how you look at it. Like it can shift out a bad status because all the statuses get FIFO'd as long as you have 2. But it can also shift out a good status if you somehow manage to get a couple of good statuses up. So it'll change the way you play again. And then this status is alerted, which basically you can't just keep spamming sleep. There'll be a 1 turn when a Temtem can't fall back asleep. So I'm assuming this is for all sleep. So if you use Narcoleptic Hit, which is an attack that puts yourself to sleep, I'm sure this will work. This is basically a nerf to the relax strategy that's pretty common with Pigapec. They added a battle log screen, so this is something that I was hoping they'd add because it was really annoying. In Gen 7 of Pokemon, I believe they added this where basically you could see all the stat buffs and debuffs of your opponent. When I do get to check this out, I'm sure it'll be a little more sophisticated than that, but basically I know a big part of like when I was playing Gen 6 OU back in oh god, it must have been like 2013. If I'd battle someone on my DS and not on Pokemon Showdown, I'd have to like write everything down, like all their stat changes, and that was kind of annoying. But it's just so you would have had to do this now if you were doing competitive battles, but now you don't, so that's good. The battle log's only accessible in competitive battles, but you can enable it for every battle type. I'm not sure if that's PvE included, but I'll probably do that. They added player outros and intros on PvP matches, so that's cool. And the outro will display the winner. They added 22 new technique animations to the game. You can see them all here. A lot of the techniques didn't actually have any sort of animation. It was just a basic, like, I believe Narcoleptic Hit was, I know Chain Lightning was one of them. If you watch my Let's Plays, you know I use Chain Lightning quite a bit. Yeah, Narcoleptic Hit was one of them. There's a few. So they made some improvements. So free Tem's going to have 4 reward tiers instead of just 1. So instead of just being like, oh, you get 200 releases for a telomere hack, there's going to be multiple. I don't know if they're going to add some smaller tiers and then some really big tiers. Like maybe they'll have a tier that's like 600 or something. That'll be a really good item. We'll have to see because as of right now, the current weekly reset's intact. They haven't changed it. The map is now going to feature names and stuff, which is nice. The special attack icon has been placed, so it's a little easier to tell the difference. PC right-clicking space will now cancel. Okay, that's something small. Excuse me. Interiors now match the environment sounds of their exterior zones when they don't have custom environment sound defined. Revisited some interior environment sounds. Okay, it's just sound stuff. The Tem deck now features up to 23 different marks, up from 11. Current marks are still the same as they're maintaining your Tem decks. Okay. So that's interesting. So right now there's different symbols you can attach to your Temtem, so they added a bunch. I use them for breeding. Players now need balance. So this is going to be there's a few things, and there's going to be some controversy here, but there's also going to be some good stuff. So we'll talk about that in a second. But players need to be closer to each other to trade. They're going to add the trading house, but I can't remember exactly. Like, I'm doing this unscripted on the fly. I can't remember exactly when the trading house is coming, but it's not going to be for quite a bit. Now you have to be close to people when you trade. So it's probably because a lot of people have been like trying to scam. Yeah, see, abuse. Yeah, people are scamming. So honestly, if you want to blame anyone, blame the scammers. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you shouldn't let yourself get scammed. I don't know how people are getting scammed so hard. Like, pay attention to what you're doing, but it is what it is. We all have to pay for that now. Another one, because of scammers. Telomere hacks now only work on Temtem where the original player is using the hack. So that means unless you caught that Temtem, you can't telomere hack it. That's on top of the previous nerf to it we got where it makes you lose a fertility. So the telomere hacks are just getting nerf. But again, they've been subject to several cases of scamming because people have been offering them. And I've seen this in the group too. I don't know how you do a trade and get scammed when you can see what you're getting traded, but whatever. But anyway, so we're going to go over to the balancing that they changed. So some of it's good, like Tataru got a much needed boost. He's got more, well, actually he did get a so he got an HP buff. I thought these were all buffs for a sec, but they're not. So he got a stamina debuff, HP buff, and attack buff. He's clearly gotten buffed a lot more than nerfed. Mudred got a special attack buff that's going to make special Mudred even more viable now, considering the egg moves are available. Taifu, another Temtem that was considered like D rank, not very good, got a special attack increase, special defense increase. Noxolotl, another one that was considered a D rank, got increases to speed and special attack. Volerend, who is considered an S tier Temtem, of course, he's very bulky. He got a nerf to his HP. Tuvine got an attack nerf and a special attack nerf. Mushi gets intimidation as an egg move. Kinu gets Psywave now, which could be interesting. Technique. So Bamboozle got, instead of just giving you that unnamed status where you just avoid stuff, it evades for 2 turns. And the stamina cost has been reduced. So it could be a bit of a buff or a nerf depending on how you look at it. Intimidation will now exhaust you. Hypnosis will cost 14 stamina. Priority was increased from low to normal, though. So, again, it's a bit of a give and take, buff and nerf at the same time. Stare, stamina cost was increased. The caster Temtem now gets alerted for 2 turns. That's actually interesting. Stare might actually be, like, Stare is just this game's equivalent of Leer, but now it might actually be useful. Like a lot more useful anyway. Because you get alerted, so now you can't, all of a sudden you can't fall asleep. And you decrease the opponent's defense. Cage was increased to all high priority. Sorry, my apologies. It was increased from high to ultra. And stamina cost increase. Also, so I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember the names exactly, but I'm pretty sure Ultra is the one that goes before you switch. So if you cage someone and they try to switch, they lose that turn, basically. And the stamina cost was increased a lot, though. Narcoleptic hits damage was increased from 140 to 150. And for traits, Trance now applies the regenerating status for 2 turns, and Apothecary and Tri-Apothecary can be triggered with self-inflicting techniques. There's a bunch of fixes here. I'm not going to read them all off to you guys because it's nothing like crazy that you might want to just listen to me list off. But those are the main updates for this spring update. again, we still have another half of it ready to go, and we're going to see how everything plays out. The tier lists are clearly going to change based off of these, based off of the nerfs and buffs and whatnot. And, you know, some of the balance stuff here was a little less than ideal, but we'll see how everything plays out. Anyways, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at GymLeaderEd. I have a video coming out in an hour and a half in collaboration with another Temtem YouTuber, so I hope you guys enjoy that. And until next time, peace.